It is my pleasure to introduce our next presenter, Aimée Nevins. Aimee is an executive coach at Fortune Management. On an interesting note, she is fascinated by psychology and the study of consciousness. We were blown away last year when she won our Indie Books Forum speech contest, which got her an opportunity to speak this year. And it is my pleasure to present to you the 2021 speech contest winner, Aimée Nevins. Give it up for Aimee.
Thank you, Mark. That's a perfect introduction. Just wait for the slides to pull up. Okay. When I was invited to speak at this conference, I thought, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I can't wait to share what I'm working on. I know. I'll talk about how to recognize and overcome the obstacles to writing your book. Oh yes, this is going to help my indie friends and family. But then a million other important projects came up and this marvelous opportunity dropped off my radar. About 3 weeks ago, I got an email from Henry asking all of the speakers to confirm their time slots. When I got the email, I thought, uh-oh, am I going to be ready? But then I remembered I really want to share my writing. So I wrote back, confirmed. Thank you for the opportunity, exclamation point. A week later, it hit me. I just committed to preparing and presenting a 15-minute talk. At the 2-week mark, I was freaking out. Oh my God, I haven't put anything together yet. How am I ever going to deliver a captivating speech at the IFF conference? So I did all the practical things. I brainstormed with my writing coach. I blocked time on the calendar for writing. I scheduled rehearsal. But here's the problem. Whenever I set a big goal for myself, the urgency to reach that goal triggers massive internal resistance. I could tell you, I am the only one stopping me from getting what I want. But the embarrassing truth is, it's not just me getting in my own way. I've got a whole cast of characters living inside my head that prevent me from reaching my goals. So let me introduce you to the characters that nearly prevented me from speaking here today. 6 archetypes or avatars that block me from getting the things I want. You may identify with some of these avatars. They can stop you from writing a book, giving a speech, and generally putting yourself out there. The most insidious avatar that gets in my way is Teddy Lou. Dang you, Teddy Lou. Teddy Lou has too much to do. I wanted to write a book by the time this conference met, but Teddy Lou wanted to pay attention to a million other projects. When the pandemic hit, Teddy Lou's to-do list grew. He went into survival mode. I've got to retool for the new reality or I might lose my job. Geez, I need to find a better camera and microphone for my Zoom room. I've got to learn some new dance moves for TikTok. Every time he attempts to improve one area of his professional life, he discovers new areas where he feels desperately behind. Teddy Lou believes that life is a meritocracy, but everywhere he looks, he sees people who seem to have more merit. People posting their pandemic successes, who learned a language, ran a marathon, doubled their income. I know I'm not going to get what I want until I earn it. I'm just going to have to work harder, he thinks. At core, Teddy Lou has a limiting belief that he doesn't really deserve what he wants. I knew I had to prioritize working on this talk from among Teddy Lou's to-dos. So I said, Teddy Lou, your goalposts keep moving. Every time you accomplish something, it's never good enough, and you're on to the next goal. As soon as I decided to focus on writing this talk, I realized I was scared of what might happen if I did the talk I really wanted to do. I knew my fears were coming from Freddie the Fretter. Freddie the Fretter frets about all of the things he doesn't want. I'm gonna get COVID. Oh man, I'm really worried about inflation. Oh gosh, what if my book gets a bad review on Amazon? What if I'm wearing the wrong thing to this work conference in San Diego? Freddie frets about what other people think. He worries that others will disapprove if he gets what he wants. If you ask him what he deeply wants, he will begin to tell you about his desires, but soon, here comes the but. But if I got what I wanted, I would lose something else. Freddie's always waiting for the other shoe to drop. But if I got what I wanted, everyone would be jealous. But if I got what I wanted, I would be alone. When Freddie thinks about the things he deeply wants, like being loved and celebrated, he pushes those feelings away and he dares not ask for what he wants directly. Instead, he operates on negative wanting, focused on what he doesn't want. Rather than articulating and owning what he truly desires, Freddie spends his time fending off the things he fears. I don't want to be homeless, he worries. I don't want to get wrinkles. I don't want my boss to find out I made a mistake on that spreadsheet. I don't want this audience to hate my talk. And on and on. After fretting about all of the possible catastrophic outcomes of speaking today, I knew I had to get clarity on what I really wanted to talk about. Next thing I knew, Cloudy Howdy shouted, "How do you do?" Cloudy Howdy isn't clear on what he wants or where he's going. I don't know what topic I want to write on. I don't really know what direction I want to go in with this book. He's always jotting down ideas and exploring new subjects. He's got a dozen notebooks with writing about a slew of different topics. Howdy has a lot of fleeting interests and desires that are contradictory, but he never takes the time to develop a clear vision for himself. Cloudy Howdy is vague about everything, even his finances. I never pay attention to how much money I'm spending, he admits. I don't even open the bills on my desk. Howdy can't even articulate what he's looking for in a romantic partner. He's done a lot of dating, but he's afraid to commit. Well, that last one I dated, you know, they look good on paper, but I don't know. I mean, they aren't the one. Cloudy Howdy starts a lot of projects, but rarely makes it halfway through before he loses interest. He suffers from FOMO, fear of missing out, jumping on the bandwagon of every new shiny trend that comes along. And so he never commits to the fulfillment of his desires. No sooner had Cloudy Howdy helped me clarify what I wanted to write about than I heard, "You can't talk about that." And the fourth avatar, Priscilla the Proper, laid out her impossible standards. Priscilla the Proper believes that many of the things she wants are inappropriate. And she thinks many of the things you want are inappropriate. Pursuing art or writing a book, those are frivolous. I've got to be serious. I've got to go to work and make money. Priscilla never lets herself pursue her deepest desires. Priscilla the Proper is a perfectionist. She attempted to thwart my writing by criticizing me. Well, this is how it should be done. It needs to be perfect because everything I do must be beyond reproach. Priscilla the Proper lives in a rigid world with a lot of rules. She doesn't even realize how many rules she's following. Rules based on discipline, righteousness, sacrifice, and definitely not asking for what you want. Priscilla sometimes feels trapped by duty. Her obligations to others often take up all the space in her life, so she doesn't have time to indulge her own wants. Well, I value family, and I would do anything for them. I don't pursue my silly dream of writing a book because everyone around me counts on me to be responsible. She often looks down on the people around her who have the things that she deeply wants. What? You're taking 3 weeks off to travel? That's so indulgent. I could never do that. Yeah, my friend is taking an improv class. She's really impulsive. Priscilla can come across as uptight, but she believes that if everyone would just play by the rules, then she would finally be acknowledged because she is playing the game perfectly. Once I recognized Priscilla was judging and subverting my true desire, I plowed ahead with the writing of this talk until I began to envision the other speakers here today. Then suddenly, Jealous Jillian jumped into the fray. Jealous Jillian thinks she's in a competition with everyone around her to get what she wants. Jillian doesn't think there's enough to go around. So she's always trying to convince herself that she deserves to get what she wants more than everyone else. She's always trying to prove that she does everything better than the people around her. She thinks to herself, I'm smarter, more passionate, harder working, nicer, more creative. I'm superlative. I'm better than all of you. Jealous Jillian grew up competing with her younger brother, who was the baby of the family. Her parents tried to split everything equally, but Jillian says, my brother always gets more attention than me. My parents give him everything he wants. Jillian wants things to come easier for her, but she doesn't let herself follow her actual interests. Instead, she covets other people's success and attention. Everything Jillian does becomes a contest for recognition and power. In her desperation to come out ahead in the competition of life, she surrounds herself with friends and partners who have what she wants. So of course, she ends up in a power struggle in all of her relationships. On the path to completing this talk, I confronted her. Jillian, stop envying the other writers here. I'm focusing on the talk I want to give. My jealousy dissipated as I remembered that these are my indie friends and family. I was finally in the home stretch when I found myself sighing, "Whew, this talk is never going to be what I really want it to be." Sedrick the Settler had arrived on the scene. Sedrick the Settler settles for less than he wants, even though he secretly wants more. He thinks, I'll never get what I really want, so why bother? Because what I want is unrealistic and foolish. I guess I'll just settle for mediocrity. That's all I can expect out of life, which is fine. Sedrick settles for the humdrum. He forgoes his passion and he feels numb. He wonders, is this all there is? Really? No, Sedrick, it's not all there is, and I'm not going to settle. I know it's risky, but I am going to talk about the topic I really want to share about. And so here I am today, sharing with you the 6 saboteurs that can stop us from achieving our goals. Have you noticed the one thing all of these avatars have in common? They all try to convince us that we cannot get what we deeply desire. So which saboteur is stopping you? Are you listening to Teddy Lou with too much to do, convinced you can't possibly find time for your book? Is Freddie the Fretter worried that if you put your book out there, people won't like it? Is cloudy howdy muddying the waters because you haven't defined your vision clearly? Is Priscilla the proper judging your ideas and telling you that the book you want to write isn't good enough? Is Jealous Jillian comparing you to all the other writers in this room, competing instead of taking advantage of the support of friends and family? Is Sedrick the Settler settling for a book that you're not passionate about? Which one badgers you? Awareness of the stories these avatars tell you is the key to not being thrown off your path. Their stories are nothing more than limiting beliefs. Their stories can thwart your true desires if you let them. Are you ready to confront them? Then you must stay aligned with what you deeply want. Because the best way to conquer Teddy Lou, Freddie, Howdy, Priscilla, Jillian, and Sedrick and achieve your goals is to replace their limiting beliefs with a more powerful belief in your true desire. Thank you.